it's Lauren. So for today's look, this look is going to be very, not high maintenance, that's the wrong word, but very high impact. It's not going to be really difficult, but there's a lot that's going to be happening on my face very soon. So I'm going to go ahead and clip my hair back because I finally got some of these like creaseless clips and I'm so excited about it. I feel like I'm constantly like moving my hair out of my face. So it's going to be so nice to not have to mess with it. I am going to move it behind my shoulders though because that irritates me. So my face is already prepped. I've got my sunscreen on and I'm going to start with the Chantecaille Future Skin. I wear the shade Vanilla and I'm just going to dot this all over my face. Just as like a little, I don't know, kind of disclaimer of sorts. I feel like most of the products that I use in my tutorial videos, I've got a review of almost all of them. So if you're ever curious about a product that I'm using, you can pretty much just go and search and find it on my channel to know kind of my overall thoughts on it. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly buff this in. I'm using the Merit brush. The Chantecaille is really nice because it just kind of evens out your skin tone, but still looks very luminous and dewy. And this is an oil-free formula. So if you're someone who avoids oils in foundations and stuff, you might really like this. But you can see it still looks like my skin, just a little more evened out, and I like this. It gives like a really pretty glassy skin kind of finish. Now I'm going to use the new Thrive Buildable Blur HD Creaseless Concealer. I have really been liking this one. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to really just brighten it all up. You know, I've noticed like so many people right now, we're kind of doing the whole like inner corner of the eye, skipping this part and then doing like real heavy out here. And I've tried that and I kind of feel like when I did that, it left a dark hollow gap through there. I don't know. I don't really think that I like how that looked on me. So I'm just going to pull it all the way underneath. I think it just works better. I'm using the Jones Road foundation brush. This is really great for kind of quick blending. I like their smaller one. If I'm doing more like kind of spot concealing work, I'll grab that one. But this is just like such a great shape for like a quick under eye concealer application. I'll probably have to conceal that little blemish a little better. Sometimes too, if you're like myself and you tend to set your face like no matter what, sometimes when you have like a little tiny blemish like that, if you use a powder that has a little bit of color, you're going to be able to camouflage that out without necessarily needing more concealer. It's a little red though, so I'm gonna go ahead and put more right there. I'll just tap with my finger. That's a little better. I also feel like my nose looks kind of red, so we'll just put a little more concealer there too. Voila. Okay, so before I set my face down, I'm going to use the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour in Biscuit, just for a little extra definition. And I also try to get very close to my hairline. I don't like when you can see like a very pale scalp next to like very toned tan skin. So I really try to buff that into my hairline. Goodbye. Double chin. Camouflage you out today. Okay, I'm just gonna take my foundation brush and make very quick work of this. Ready to move on. So now I'm going to take a little bit of my MAC, if I can get it open, Mineralize Skin Finish. I wear the shade Medium Plus, and I'm going to get a healthy dose of this and start from the center of my face and kind of pat and work my way out. This will allow me to build up a little bit of extra coverage, just because the Chantecaille is so light on coverage. And this also will help with some oil control on my face because I tend to get more oily through the center of my face. You'll also notice if you're new here, a lot of times when I'm applying my makeup, I don't put foundation or concealer around my nose and mouth, and that is because I tend to get perioral dermatitis. And I have found that liquid products, not all, but a lot of them tend to worsen that condition for me. And so using powders, I don't seem to have the same issue. So if I have something that has a little bit of coverage, I'll put that around my nose and mouth just to make everything a little bit more cohesive. So now I'm going to take this and run it across my eyes. And this will help to kind of tone down the brightness and of my brow bone and really kind of make it blend with my face. You can tell this is just very bare skin. So we're going to add a little bit of this. The other great thing about powdering your brows or just kind of around your eye in general, if you tend to have issues with eyeliner smudging or mascara smudging, doing this really kind of preps your eye area and reduces the chances of things smudging. So you'll almost always see me do that step also because I have pretty long eyelashes and mascaras smudge like crazy on me. So that's how I avoid that. Now, I know I already contoured my face. It's kind of a new step in my routine. But I'm going to use the bronzer, the Sun Chaser from Thrive in the shade Rhea. This will add a little tiny bit of extra warmth. I'm not going to go crazy with this because I don't need my face looking like 3 shades darker than the rest of me. But this just adds a really nice little bit of warmth to the skin. And I always like to bring this down on my chest. It really just kind of ties everything together. That way you don't look like a floating head of makeup. So, and the other thing you'll also maybe notice is I don't put a lot of product right through here. Reason being, I've just noticed when I do that it collects and makes those lines look extra dark by the end of the day. So yeah, I just avoid that area. And honestly, that's not really an area that the sun hits most people very much. I mean, there's a reason why people used to sit outside with foil and try to get that tan too, because the sun just doesn't hit there. It just doesn't. Okay, now I'm gonna use also more Thrive. I'm a little obsessed. I'll put the link up here for my Thrive review. I love their products so much, and I had to talk myself out of using even more of them for this look because I'm trying to keep things kind of balanced between everything I own. So I'm gonna take the Angelina blush, and I'm going to use the same big fluffy brush. If you're wondering what this is a Cuivre premium blush brush. I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I hope I have it till I'm 95. Okay, so we're just gonna take a little bit of this blush. Look at that color. It's so pretty. This is a very fluffy brush, so it doesn't deposit like a real heavy, hard amount of color. I have found with this blush, my experience with it is that it is very pigmented. Like, it kind of like, you kind of do a few taps at first and you're like, oh, it's not really putting anything on there. And then you go in and all of a sudden it's like, bam, on your face. So I actually really, I feel like I have to kind of be careful with it because it will start to build up pretty quick. So I'm actually going to take my powder brush that I was using and kind of buff out some of these edges a little bit better to blend. I just love that color though. I think it is so, so pretty. Just this beautiful like red brick color, and it has like this incredible dimension to it also. It's not like a shimmery blush, but it does have like this way of catching radiance. They call it their ring light technology. I just think this is such a beautiful blush. Truly, truly love it. And I'm gonna run this, I'm gonna do like how Khaki does. I'm gonna put some up on my forehead. Oh, hey, baby hairs. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna just, I think it looks really pretty though. I've watched how Khaki does that, where she'll put a little bit of blush fam, up on her forehead. And I just think it looks really great how it ties her whole face together. And sometimes like I've noticed, like if I go real heavy with my blush, it just looks kind of strangely incohesive to not have a little more elsewhere. So I'm joining the blush fam today, you guys. We're going crazy with the blush, all right? I'm feeling it. All right. Now I want to pop on a little bit of a highlighter that I really, really love. This is from Phytosurgence, and this is their Spectral Shines that launched pretty recently. And I have the shade Mirrored Moonlight. So I'm gonna swirl my fingers into it. Look at that. It's just like the prettiest iridescent shine. And actually, I think because I don't want to pick up my blush, what I'm going to do, I need a somewhat firm brush with this. You don't want to like jab it at the product because you'll break it apart, but you do need like a semi-firm brush to get the right amount of pressure to really press it onto the skin. I did get a little bit. That's so pretty. This is actually the concealer brush from Clove and Hallow, but it's got such a nice kind of firmness to those bristles, and so you just have to swirl very gently in here. You don't want to damage the product. But there we go. Hey girl, you're so pretty. Love this product. It's so easy to use, and it makes you look so lit from within. It's like you're not wearing a highlighter and you just have really, really beautiful skin. I think this product is incredible, and the texture of it is not like anything else that I have used. It's got this like creamy base, but it dries to more of like a powdery finish. I don't know. I think this is such a well-made product. And I'm kind of new to this brand, but like I feel like even this short time that I have been using them, like I've seen a lot of growth. And I am excited to see what else they do. Their products are so well crafted. Just beautiful skin, no makeup there. Just perfect skin. Like you got a facial. All right. Actually, I'm gonna throw some of that right there because I want to brighten that area up. Cool. Now let's move on to some eyes. So I was swatching Frosé Bronze from Haus Laboratories on my hand yesterday because some of my friends had seen someone else use it, and I was like, I have that. Like, let me show you. Like, so I showed them a few swatches of Frosé Bronze because it's such a unique color. I reviewed Haus Labs a while back. It was kind of a bigger haul, and this was one of the products in it. And it's so beautiful. It's this bronzy color with like a pink and gold pearl. And the formula of this is like very light, like very lightweight, long wearing, and so glittery. And so I kind of had the idea that for this particular look today, I wanted to start with Frosé Bronze and then go in with the Violette FR U Paint in Cuivre de Lab and kind of play with those two. And I swatched it on my hand and they actually played really well together. So what I'm going to do is start with Frosé Bronze and really put kind of a healthy dose on there and start blending this out. I feel like this formula is so forgiving. It takes a little bit of time to dry. It's not like an immediate set. I'm just going to use my finger for this one. Trying not to make too hard of an edge here. I want it to be pretty soft. I'm just going to keep blending that up so we get some of that pigment and pearl a little bit higher up. Okay, and we'll repeat over here. Now I'm going to take the Violette FR Cuivre de Lab and put that very close to my lash line, just to give a little more brightness and depth to this look. This is like a very pretty coppery kind of color. And I'm going to wipe off this excess because it's a very pigmented formula, and it's still somewhat of a newer tube, so there's quite a bit of product. Really, really loaded on this little doe foot of sorts. So what I'm going to do, I'll put this on right here, real close to the lash line, and make it a little more intense. And then I'm going to take a brush. This is a very inexpensive Wet n Wild brush, and I have found it works so well with this formula because it has the right kind of bristles. I feel like synthetic bristles work really well with this particular formula. Look at that. that just, it brightened things up a little bit. I love these formulas. I think a lot of people have kind of struggled with them, and I think that there is a little bit of a learning curve. You've got to figure out the right amount of product and the best type of application for you, depending on what kind of look you're going for. But the wear of these, just the longevity, the color is just unparalleled. And I think, once you figure out how to make them work for you, it's a really, really beautiful formula. So I hope that more people will play around with them more and really start to enjoy them, because I think it's a very special product. I really want to get this shade Rose d'Or, which is like a really pretty metallic pink color. And I think that would be really cool, like with my eye color. So there is that. I'm gonna let that set for just a minute, just to make sure everything is nice and dried down. We'll do my brows and then come back to eyeliner, because I'm gonna use some serious eyeliner today. So for my brows, I'm going to use the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I purchased this recently. I had a sample of it that I had run out of, and I actually ended up really liking it. So I purchased this in my recent Sephora sale purchase. I said that I would purchase this and the Boom Boom Cream, which I did. And then I added in the In Beauty lip glaze oil in the shade Rosé, because State of Kate had talked about how much she loves them. And I just was like, well, I trust your opinion, so I have to find out for myself if I like it too. And I do. It's a humongous applicator on that little doe foot. They say it's to mimic if you were to apply a product with your finger, which I think that's kind of a cool idea. But it's massive. It was kind of surprising to me. And the scent of it doesn't remind me of rosé. It almost reminds me more of lemon, but not in a bad way. Cause I think a lot of times, I've talked about how I don't love a lot of citrusy type scents, but this one's not off-putting to me. So just so you know. Look at that. I just think it has the best sculpting effect for the brows. I'm just going to quickly comb through it, and then I'm actually going to apply a brow gel to help hold my brows in place a little bit better. Give you one guess what it is. Starts with a Thrive. Guys, I just love their products so much. I'm so happy that I finally got to do a bigger haul, because their products, everything is just so well formulated, user friendly, and I feel like the shades and performance are designed for someone who is just busy and needs to look really polished really fast. I think the one thing I will say about this is that it's really nice if you want a really soft, fluffy brow. For days that I want a more sculpted brow, I do need a brow pencil underneath it, but I think it really just kind of tied the two together. So now I think my eyes should be dry at this point. I mean, my hands are sparkly from applying this. So I'm going to use the Haus Labs Eye.Lie.Ner. I think this stuff is amazing. It's incredibly dark. It's got a felt tip. It's really easy to use. I actually have a link down in my bio if you want to get a free mini one to try out. Anytime you make a $15 purchase on Haus Labs and you use my code below, I get a little referral for it, but you also get a free one of these with a $15 purchase from Haus Labs. Just so you know, that's in the description box. They're cousins, not sisters. Wish me luck. I feel like matching eyeliner is the bane of my existence. Yeah. I goofed up. Okay. All right, we're gonna fix it. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. I love liquid eyeliner, but it stresses me out. I actually like that better. Okay, I gotta thicken it up a little. I'm good with that. I'm not messing with it anymore. good enough. Oh, no, actually, no. I'm walking away. I'm walking away now while I'm ahead. In all seriousness, this is a great liquid liner. It is so dark. It's really matte. And I really like it. I just am having a day. I need more coffee. Let's put on some mascara. So this is one I said I would update on, and I still don't know that I have like a firm opinion on it. It's the Dior Pump and Show, or Pump and Volume. I don't know. It's Diorshow Pump and Volume. That's what it is. So it has a silicone wand. Really, really like. Love how the formula goes on. Makes my lashes look really voluminous. It doesn't necessarily add length, which is not something I really need. I typically like lengthening mascaras, but I don't necessarily need it. I don't know. This mascara, some days it wears really well and doesn't transfer, and then other days it does. And I can't figure out why there is a difference in the way that it wears. I have no idea. And honestly, it's like, it doesn't matter if I've prepped my eyelids the same way each time that I wear it. It almost, I feel like, maybe has to do with like the weather, if there's more humidity in the air. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Honestly, like I've had days where I'm like, I just want to return it. Like, it just smudges and it irritates me. And then other days it'll wear perfectly and be an absolute little angel and not smudge all over me. And I don't understand what is happening. So, I don't know. I don't know that I would recommend it. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it's beautiful. The other thing too, so if you like silicone wands, but you don't like the ones that have like really stiff bristles and they kind of like hurt your eyes when you put it on, the bristles on this one are actually very soft and they don't stab your eyelid or like your inner eye. Next, we're gonna do some lips, and I love this. So my lips are already kind of moisturized. I'm going to use the Violette Petal Bouche. I think it is such a beautiful red, and I said I would be going for drama today, so that's what I'm gonna do. I think it's very important, much like her, oh, hello. Oh, that's a lot of product right there. Much like the Yeux paints, I think it's really important to wipe off some of the excess because there is a lot initially when you pull it out of here. And also, much like the Yeux paint, a little goes a long way and you don't need a lot. I'm gonna have another sip of my coffee because I don't want to be deprived for a few minutes. Gotta keep a steady stream. I love this little mug. My cousin gave it to me for Christmas. Ooh. If I don't throw it on the floor, that would be great. Okay. Time to get very serious while I put this on. I actually want a super crisp line today, so I'm going to take a small lip brush and make it even more defined around the edges. I have noticed lately, I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little older or what, but like my lips are, I don't feel like they're as defined on the corners, and I feel like that pigmentation and the vermilion border on the very corners of my lip is not as sharp as it used to look. I don't know if that's a thing that happens, but like, yeah, I don't know. That's a lot. I have noticed I am a little more dewy than I want to be. So I'm just gonna kind of use the back of my hand to dab off some of that excess, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more of that MAC Mineralize. Does not absorb as much oil as Studio Fix. Sometimes I'll go back over with Studio Fix, but I'm just gonna use the Mineralize today. Keep it somewhat radiant. Okay, there is our final look for today. I really love this. I feel super glamorous. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I just really wanted to play with some of these products specifically. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below. I'm always happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps other people find my channel and I can continue making these types of videos for you. Bye.